Welcome. My name's Rick Lent. I work with leaders to help them run much more effective meetings by changing the structure of those meetings. I've written a book about that called Leading Great Meetings, How to Structure Yours for Success. In this video, I want to talk about difficult discussions. Effective, thoughtful discussions can be hard to achieve in meetings. It requires a careful exchange of views. But that's difficult when the issue is complex and individuals have different stakes in the outcome. For example, I once facilitated a meeting of several subcontractors in 2 state agencies involved in a highway building contract. The project was behind schedule, there were looming financial penalties for missing project milestones, finger pointing had begun, and lawyers called. A reset was necessary. The only way out of this mess was through, and all parties had to be in agreement. I could have approached the design of this meeting the traditional way, by introducing meeting norms and asking people to listen to each other, take turns speaking, suspend judgment, and so on. But such guidelines are seldom effective, particularly when the discussion is about a hot topic. Instead, I chose to structure the discussion to make a productive, respectful exchange possible. Here are some ways to do this. My first suggestion is to provide a structure to balance contributions. Create a way for all to be heard by limiting the tendency for some to always speak first and others left to respond. Having people talk with others in small groups before any whole group discussion is always helpful. People may get some feedback and new insights in the relative safety of a small group. You can use the simple process I call one to all to create small group conversation before beginning a whole group discussion. This process asks everyone to reflect on the subject first. This is the one. And then share initial thoughts with one other person around the table. This is the 2. This enables all to speak and be heard, and maybe get some feedback. Finally, you ask all to summarize what they've just shared. Everyone gets to speak to the subject. Some may get to adjust their views, and it's all done very efficiently. My second suggestion is to plan a way to share conflicting or differing views productively. Get all the views out, both about things that are going to work for you and maybe working against you, in a group brainstorm where ideas on both sides are encouraged. A tool I call Forces Review provides a productive way to do this. You first ask all to identify the most important supporting forces affecting your success, and then to brainstorm those that are restraining your success. You ask everyone then to review the lists and identify the most important forces working for or against success. For the top 3 forces working in your favor, you ask the group to develop ways to strengthen these forces further. For the top 3 restraining forces, you ask for ideas to weaken these forces. These all become ideas for action planning. In this way, everyone gets their views out, and everyone has to work constructively on what to do with the various forces. So how did the highway project meeting go? It was a very constructive session. We used Forces Review and mixed groups to develop plans. I also set a future focus as I framed the task of the meeting. In other words, we asked everyone to plan forward from today. Spending time in recriminations about past actions would not have been productive. Here's a final example of getting all to contribute to some complex, if not difficult, decisions. Again, this uses Forces Review. I was working with a nonprofit organization that was launching a new set of strategic initiatives. After a few months, they held a follow-up meeting to see how the effort was progressing. They were concerned. 20 people with a range of responsibilities were present. The executive director decided to use a Forces Review for this discussion. Together, they brainstormed all of the factors that could support progress on the new strategies. They also completed a brainstorm of all those factors that were restraining the success of this strategy. They identified the top 3 factors that were restraining progress and the top 3 that were supporting progress, and then they split into 2 groups. One half of the group focused on identifying ways to weaken those restraining factors. What could they do to make these less of a threat to the strategy's success? The other half of the group worked on ways to strengthen the top 3 supporting factors. These became creative, energized discussions. When both groups were done, the results were shared. The final step was to begin action planning to work with the ideas they had generated. There are many more ways you can use structure to create much more effective meetings. For more ideas and suggestions, you can see my blog posts at Meeting for Results or my book, Leading Great Meetings, How to Structure Yours for Success. Thanks and good luck.